For more videos, press the subscribe button and also turn on the bell notification to receive the updates directly in your device. Hello everyone, I Vikas Nehra welcome you all to our Nehra Classes YouTube channel. In today's tutorial we will learn how to use find command in Linux. The Linux find command is one of the most important and frequently used command line utility in Unix like operating systems. Find command is used to search and locate the list of files and directories based on conditions you specify for files that match the argument. In today's tutorial, I will show you the different options that you can use to find the files with the help of the find command. So without wasting time, let's get started. Find command can be used in a variety of conditions, like you can find files by permissions, users, groups, file type, date, size, and other possible criteria. Through this tutorial, I will share our day-to-day Linux find command experience and its uses in the form of examples. The correct syntax of find command is like this. After the find command, we mention the location where we want to use this utility or where we want to find the files. If we are not sure with the location, then we can mention / here to find the files in the entire system. And after that, we can define different options that are available with the find command with -option. I will tell you those options later. And in the end, we can mention the name of the file. So this is the sequence or the syntax of using the find command. Now let me show you. First, I'm going to find a file. Let me show you the file first. We have a file with the name as anaconda-ks.cfg in my home directory. So I want to find it. So I can mention find, and the location is the current working directory. So I will mention dot here. After that, I want to find it with the help of name. So I will define the option as -name, and after that I can mention the name of the file. For remaining alphabets, I can mention asterisk there and press enter. So it will show me the file. In the same way, we can use different options. Let's take another example. Suppose I want to find the files under /root or the home directory of root with the name as nehraclasses.txt. So I will write here find and then the location, that is /root. After that, I will mention the option, that is -name, and then the name of the file, that is nehraclasses.txt. So it will display the file if that is there in that particular location. Now let's proceed towards another example. If I want to find files using name and ignoring case, let us suppose if I want to find all the files whose name is nehraclasses.txt and contain both capital as well as small letters in the name. So let's first create a file with the name as nehraclasses.txt, but this time this N and C is in capital letters. So I want to find the file with case insensitive option. For that, I can use find, then location, that is /root, and here I will use the option iname. Iname is for the case insensitive option for the name, and then I can mention the name as nehraclasses.txt. So it will display both the files there. So this option is used for the case insensitivity. If I want to find directories using the name, to find the directories with the name, we can use the type option there. For that, let's create a directory in /tmp with the name as Nehra classes. and this time I will show you how can you find it by using the find command. So here I will use find, then the location is /tmp, then I will define the type, that is -type, and here I will mention D is for the directories, and I want to find it with name, so I will mention the option as -name here, and after that I will mention the name of the directory which I am going to find. The name of the directory is Nehra classes, so it will display the directory there. Now in the next example, if you want to find all the PHP files whose name is nehraclasses.txt in your current working directory, so let's create a file first with the name as nehraclasses.php. nehraclasses.php. Let us suppose I want to find it by running the find command, so I will mention here find dot for the current directory, then I will mention the type here, and this time I'm going to find the files only, so I will mention f here, then -name, and after that I will mention the complete name, that is nehraclasses.php. so this time it will display the same. Now let's proceed towards another example. Let us suppose if I want to find all the configuration files in /etc directory, so there I will mention find, then the location, let us suppose I want to find them in /etc, then I will mention here the type as file, then the name, that is -name, and in the double quote I will mention asterisk for the names, and after that I will mention the extension with dot. I want to list all the configuration files, so I will write here .conf and press enter. So it will display the files that are there in the etc directory with the extension as .conf. Now let's proceed towards another example. Suppose I want to find all the files whose permissions are 777. Let us suppose I want to find all the files in my home directory which are having the permissions as 777. I'm talking about the files, not about the directories. So let me first show you the permissions. These all files which are having the name as Nehra classes having the permissions as 777. Now if I want to find all these files, I will write find, and after the find command I will mention the location. So for location I will mention dot here for my present working directory. Then I will define the type as file because I don't want to include the directories. So I will specify here the type as file, and then I will use the option as -perm for the permissions, and the permissions should be 0777. The first bit here is for the special permission. We will talk about it later. And then I will mention the option as print, -print. So it will display all the files that are there in my present working directory which are having the full permissions or the permissions as 777. Now in the next example, if I want to find all the files without permission as 777, so that's very easy. For that I will write find, and then the location, then I will specify the type as file, and for not equal to I will mention the bang sign here, then the permission as 777. So it will exclude these files. So it will display all the files which are having the permissions not as 777. Let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find the files which are having SGID bit set on them. So I already have a file in my system or in my home directory with the name as nehraclasses1.txt. This file is already having the SGID set on it. Now if I want to find it, I will use find, then I will define the location, that is the present working directory, and then I will mention the option as -perm for the permissions, and for sgid I will mention here 2, and then the remaining permissions as 644. So it will display the file there. Let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find all the files which are having sticky bit set on them and that are having the permissions as 551. I already have such type of file in my current working directory with the name as nehraclasses.txt. So this file is having the sticky bit set on it and it is having the permissions as 551. So how can I find it? I will write find. After the find command, I will mention the location as the current working directory and then the permissions. So I will write here -perm. For a sticky bit, I will write here 1. The permissions will start with 1 and then the normal permissions 551. Press enter, so it will display the file. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose I want to find all the files which are having the SUID bit set on them in the system. So there I will execute the find command, find, and then the location. Let us suppose I want to find them in the entire system. So I will mention here / and then -perm for the permissions, and then for the SUID bit I will write here /u is equal to s. So it will display all the files in the system which are having the SUID bit set on them. Now if I want to find the files which are having the SGID bit set on them, so there I will write the same command, but instead of u I will write here g for the SGID. So it will display all the files there. So on these files SGID bit is set. Now if I want to find the read-only files in the system, so for that I will write find / let us suppose I want to find them in the entire system, then I will mention the permissions there as perm, and then /u is equal to r. Press enter, so it will display all the read-only files in the system. Now if I want to find all the executable files, to find all the executable files I will write find, then the location, then the option as -perm, then /a is equal to x. So it will display all the files. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Let us suppose I want to find all the files which are having the permissions as 777 on them. To find all 777 permission files and use chmod command to set the permissions to 644. So for that I can write find, then the location, then -type. Here I will write the type as file, then the option as -perm for the permissions, 0777 -print -exec execute. Then I want to execute chmod on them with 644, then the curly brackets like this, then the backward slash and the semicolon. Press enter, so it will change it. It will find and change the permissions. Now let us suppose I want to find the directories with 777 permission and I want to change the permission to 755. So for that I will use the find command, find / then I will write -type as directory, then perm for the permissions as 777 hyphen print, then execute exec execute chmod to change the permissions, and after chmod I will mention the permissions as 755, then the curly brackets, then backward slash and semicolon. Press enter, so it will change if they are there. Now let's proceed towards the another example. To find a single file called nehraclasses.txt and remove it. To do it in one command, I can write find, the location, then the type as file, and after that I will write the name as with option hyphen name, and then I will mention the name in inverted commas as nehraclasses.txt. After that I will mention the option as exec execute rm-f, then the curly brackets, backward slash and semicolon. So it will erase this file. It will find this file first and then it will erase it. Now if I will try to list it, this file is not available. You won't be able to find it. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find and remove multiple files. Let us suppose I want to find all the files in my present working directory with the extension as .txt, and I want to remove them at the same time. So I will write the option as find. I will use the command as find, then the location as present working directory, then I will write here hyphen type as file, then the option as hyphen name, and in the double quotes I will write asterisk.txt, then I will mention as option hyphen exec rm hyphen f curly brackets, then the backward slash and semicolon. Press enter, so it will erase all the files. Let me show you. So all the files which are having the extension as .txt in my present working directory are gone. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find all the files which are empty. Let us suppose I want to find all the empty files in tmp directory. So I will mention the command as find /tmp, then hyphen type as file, and then I can define the option as empty empty for the empty files. So it will display all the empty files which are there in the tmp directory. Now let's proceed towards another example. Suppose I want to find all the empty directories. To find all the empty directories, I will write find and then the location. Suppose I want to find them on tmp directory, then I will write here type as d, and then I will write the option as empty. So it will display the empty files that are there in the tmp directory. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose I want to find all the hidden files. To find all the hidden files, I will write the command as find, then location /tmp. Suppose I want to find them on tmp, then the option as hyphen type, that is file, then option hyphen name, and after the name in the double quotes I will write dot asterisk or dot asterisk. Press enter, so it will display the empty files there. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find the files with name and with the owner. So for that I will write find, then the location. For the owner or the user, I will mention the option as hyphen user. Suppose I want to find the files which are owned by root, so I will write their root, and then we can define the name with option hyphen name, and the name of the file. Press enter. So it will display the file with the name which is having the owner as root. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find the files that belong to a user in the /home directory. For that, I will write find, then location as /home, then -user, and let us suppose I want to find the files which are owned by the user as Vikas Nehra. Press enter. So it will display all the files which belong to Vikas Nehra user in /home. Now let's proceed towards another example. Suppose we want to find all the files based on group. To find files or all the files that belong to the group, we can write find. Suppose we want to find in /home, then we will use the option as -group and then the group name. So it will display all the files which belong to the group as Vikas Nehra. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find a particular file of user. To find a particular file or all the files of one user, we can write find and then the location, that is /home. Then I will write their user, then the username, and suppose I want to use the case insensitive option, so I will mention their -name, and then in the double quotes I will write *.txt. So if these files are there, it will display them. There are no txt files, so let us suppose I want to include all the files, so I will mention * there, so it will display all in the result. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find the files which were modified 50 days back or within 50 days. To find all the files which are modified in last 50 days, we can write find. Suppose we want to find them in the entire system, so I will mention here /, then I will use the option as mtime. Mtime stands for modification time, and then I will write there 50, which will take the option in days by default. Press enter. So if the files are there, it will display them. Now let us suppose I want to find all the files that are accessed 50 days back. To find such files, I will mention on terminal find / and then I will use the option as a-time. A-time option is used for the access time, and let us suppose I want to know the files which were accessed in last 50 days. I will write here 50, press enter. If they are there, it will display them. Or if I want to see the files that were accessed in last 10 days, I will mention there 10. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose I want to find the files which were modified more than 50 days back but less than 100 days. For that I will write find / then option -mtime, and then I will mention +50. Then again I will use mtime, -mtime and -100. So it will display all the files which were modified within 50 to 100 days. Means more than 50 days but less than 100 days. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose I want to find all the files which are changed in last 1 hour. So I will write find / then I will mention the option as cmin. C min option we use to find all the files which were changed in last few minutes. And suppose I want to see the files which were changed in last 1 hour or in last 60 minutes, I will mention here -60. Press enter. So it will show all the files if they are there. Now let's proceed towards the another example to find all the files which were modified in last 1 hour. To see the last modified files in few minutes, I will use option -mmin. So I will write find slash then -mmin modified minutes, and then I will write the minutes with hyphen. For last 1 hour, I will write here -60. So it will display all the files. Or if I want to see the files which were modified in last 10 minutes, I will mention there -10. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose I want to find all the files which are accessed in last 1 hour. To find the accessed files, we can use find, then the location, then we will write the option as -a. For minutes, I will mention min. So we will use the option as -a min and then the minutes with hyphen. So it will display all the files that are accessed in last 1 hour. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find all the 50 MB files in the system or all the 100 MB files. Means if we want to find the files exactly with that particular size, so we will write find, then location, then we will use the option as -size, and then we can define the size. For 50 MB we can write 50M like this. For 100 MBs we can write 100M. So it will display the files if they are there. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose we want to find the files between 50 MB to 100 MB. For that we can use find, then location, then option -size, and then we will write +50 M. Then again we will use the option as -size, and there we will mention -100 M. So it will display all the files which are larger than 50 MB but less than 100 MBs. So these are the files. Now let's proceed towards the another example. Suppose I want to find and delete all the 100 MB files using the find command. So I will write find, then location, then option as -size, and then we can mention +100 M, then -exec rm-f, curly brackets like this, backward slash and colon. So it will find and delete all the files and directories. But if I want to find and delete only the files, so I will use one more option here, that is -type as file. Let's proceed towards the another example. One more important option that we can use with the find command is the newer option. Suppose we want to list or find all the files which are newer than one particular file. Let me first create few files here. So I created a file with the name as old. Let me create some more files, new 1, new 2, new 3. So I have created 4 files, one with the name as old and others with names new 1, new 2, new 3. Now how can I find them? So I will mention the find command, then I will mention the location, that is /tmp, and if I want to include only the files in result, not the directories, so I will use the option as -type as file, then I will use the option as -newer and then the reference file name. So I want to list all the files which are newer than this old file. Press enter. So it will display all the files which were created after this old file, or which were modified after this old file. So these files are actually newer than this old file. So we can list them by using the option as -newer with the find command. So guys, these were the few examples of find command. If you want to go in detail, you can go through the manual of find command by running man find, and there you can use a lot of options as per the requirement. That's all about the find command tutorial. Hope you will find this tutorial useful for you. If you like it, then do share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you are new on our channel, then please subscribe us and turn on the bell notification. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Jai Hind. Vande Matram.